So, Leo, let me ask you something. When you hear the word hustle, what comes to mind?
I think of someone who's working really hard, maybe late at night, someone who's determined to succeed no matter what.
Okay, and is that a positive thing or a negative thing?
Positive, for sure, like a young entrepreneur starting a business, working 18 hours a day, that's a hustler.
Right, and that's exactly how most learners use this word. But here's something surprising. In America, the word hustle has two very different meanings. One is positive, and the other is, well, a warning sign.
Wait, really? A warning sign?
Yes, and in this episode, we're going to decode that. We'll talk about hustle culture, the real meaning of grind, and why Americans respect working smart way more than working hard.
Okay, I need to hear this, because I've been saying I'm a hustler to sound impressive.
And you might have been sending the wrong message. Let's get into it.
And I'm Leo. Let's get into it.
So, Leo, you said you use hustle as a positive word, and that makes sense. A lot of textbooks teach it that way. The word hustle originally comes from sports, like hustle means to move fast and with energy. And in business culture, especially in the startup world, hustle became a badge of honor.
Right, like people on Instagram saying grind never stops, hustle every day.
Exactly. But here's the thing, in real American conversations, especially when talking about your own life, saying I hustle all the time or I'm always grinding, that can sound like a complaint.
A complaint? How?
Because Americans, especially in professional settings, are very aware of something called burnout. Burnout is when you work so hard that you crash, you get exhausted, you lose motivation, your mental health suffers. So when someone says, I'm always hustling, native speakers often hear, I'm overworked and I'm not taking care of myself.
Oh, wow. So it's not a flex?
Not anymore. In the last 5 to 10 years, American culture has really shifted. People now talk about work-life balance. They talk about setting boundaries. Saying I hustle nonstop can sound like you don't have control over your own life.
So what should I say instead if I want to sound hardworking but not like I'm complaining?
Great question. Let's break it down. First, if you want to talk about working hard in a positive way, Americans often use specific, concrete language instead of a big word like hustle. For example, you can say, I've been putting in a lot of hours lately, or I'm really focused on this project.
So putting in hours instead of hustling?
Exactly. That sounds professional. It tells people you're working hard without making it sound dramatic. Another good phrase is, I'm staying on top of things. That means you're managing your work well.
Okay. So put in hours and stay on top of things. I like that.
Now, let's talk about grind. This word is even trickier. Grind literally means to crush something into small pieces, like grinding coffee beans. So when you say the daily grind, it means the boring, repetitive part of work that you just have to get through.
Oh, so the grind is not exciting at all.
No, it's the opposite of exciting. The grind is the routine, the commute, the paperwork, the meetings that could have been emails. So when someone says I'm grinding, it can mean I'm doing the boring work that nobody wants to do. It's not glamorous.
Okay, so if I post on LinkedIn grinding every day to build my future, does that sound cool or does that sound
It sounds like you're trying too hard, honestly, and a lot of native speakers will think it's a bit cringy.
cringy? Okay, that's a word I don't want to be associated with.
Right. So let me give you a real scenario. Imagine you're at a work event, maybe a networking dinner. Someone asks you, so how's your job going?
Okay, and I say I'm hustling every day, grinding nonstop.
Haha. And that person smiles awkwardly and changes the subject because now it sounds like your job is exhausting you and you have no boundaries.
What should I say instead?
Try this. It's busy, but I'm learning a lot. I've been focusing on a few key projects.
Busy, but I'm learning a lot. Focusing on key projects.
That sounds confident. It sounds like you're in control. It tells people you're working hard without making it sound like you're suffering.
Okay, so I'm busy, but I'm learning a lot. That's actually more impressive than I'm hustling.
Yes, because it shows growth, not just effort. Americans value results and efficiency more than just the number of hours you work. There's a very common saying in the US: work smart, not hard.
I've heard that, but what does it really mean?
It means the goal is not to work as many hours as possible. The goal is to work efficiently, to find a better way to do things, to use your time wisely. In American professional culture, someone who works 12 hours a day but gets nothing done is less respected than someone who works 6 hours and gets everything done.
That's so different from my culture. In my country, working long hours is a sign of dedication. If you leave the office at 5 p.m., people think you're lazy.
And that's exactly why this episode matters. Because when you bring that cultural mindset into an American workplace, you might accidentally communicate the wrong thing. Let me give you an example. Imagine your American colleague says, "I'm going to head out at 5 today."
And I say, oh, you're leaving early?
That comment could sound judgmental. In America, leaving at 5 p.m. is normal. Many people leave earlier if they started early. So if you say you're leaving early with a surprised tone, it can sound like you're criticizing them.
Oh no. So what should I say instead?
Nothing. Just say, "Okay, see you tomorrow," or "Have a good evening." That's it. You don't need to comment on the time. Now, here's something really useful. Americans have a set of phrases they use to talk about work in a balanced way. Let me teach you a few.
Yes, please.
First, I need to set some boundaries. This means I need to decide what I will and won't do. For example, I don't check work emails after 8 p.m. That's a boundary.
Set boundaries. Okay.
Second, I'm protecting my time. This means I'm being careful about how I spend my working hours. If someone asks you to join a meeting that isn't necessary, you can say, "I'm protecting my time today, so I'll pass on that meeting."
Protecting my time. I love that. It sounds professional.
It does, and it shows that you understand the value of working smart. Third phrase, I'm taking a step back. This means you're going to reduce your workload or take a break. For example, "I've been working too hard. I think I need to take a step back and recharge."
Recharge. Like a battery?
Exactly, it's a very common metaphor. I need to recharge, I'm feeling drained. Those are all ways Americans talk about needing rest.
Okay, I want to practice saying these. Can we do a quick dialogue?
Let's do it. I'll be your American colleague. You just finished a big project. Your colleague says,
Ready.
"Hey Leo, great work on the project. You've been working late a lot. You okay?"
I'd say, yeah, thanks. It was busy, but I'm glad it's done. I think I need to take a step back this weekend and recharge.
Perfect. That sounds completely natural. You didn't say "I'm grinding." You didn't complain. You just expressed that you worked hard and now you need rest. Very professional.
That actually feels better. It's honest without being dramatic.
Exactly. Now, here's a common mistake I hear from learners. Some people, especially Spanish and Arabic speakers, they use hustle in a very positive way, like "I'm a hustler, I never stop." But in American English, if you say that to a boss or a colleague, they might worry about you.
What about Chinese speakers?
Great question. Chinese speakers often use struggle to mean work hard. For example, "I'm struggling for my future," but in English, struggle means you're having a very hard time. It's negative. So instead of "I'm struggling for my future," say "I'm working toward my goals."
Working toward my goals. That's so much better.
Right. Let's review the key phrases from today.
Okay, I'm ready.
Instead of "I hustle all the time," say
I've been putting in a lot of hours.
"good." Instead of "I'm grinding," say
I'm focused on my projects.
instead of "I never stop working," say,
I'm staying on top of things.
and instead of "I'm a hustler," say,
I'm dedicated to my work, but I also set boundaries.
beautiful. Now I want to challenge you. Imagine you're at a dinner with American friends. Someone says, "You work at a tech company? That must be intense."
Okay. I'll say it can be busy, but I'm learning a ton. I also make sure to protect my weekends.
Perfect answer. That shows you're hardworking, but balanced. And that's the sweet spot in American culture. Before we wrap up, let me give you one more piece of cultural context. In America, there's a concept called the burnout. It's so common that it's almost a rite of passage. Many young professionals hit a wall after working too hard for too long, and then they have to take time off or even quit their jobs.
I've heard about that. People just crash.
Yes. And because of that, Americans have become more careful about how they talk about work. When you say, I'm working 80 hours a week, people don't say, wow, impressive. They say, are you okay? It's a sign that something is wrong.
So basically, the culture is shifting away from more hours, better.
Exactly. And if you want to sound like a native speaker, you need to shift with it. Use language that shows control, not chaos. Show that you work hard, but you also take care of yourself. That's the message.
I feel like I've been saying the wrong things for years.
Don't worry, now you know. And the best part is, you can start using these phrases today. That's the beauty of learning culture along with language. You don't just learn words, you learn when to use them.
So today's takeaway, replace I hustle every day with I'm focused and I set boundaries.
Yes. And here's your homework. This week, listen to how American professionals talk about work in movies, TV shows, or podcasts. Pay attention to whether they say hustle or grind in a positive way or a negative way. You'll be surprised.
I'm going to do that. I'm also going to start using I'm protecting my time in my English conversations.
That's a great place to start. And if you want to practice, write your answer in the comments. Tell us, what's your work style? Do you work hard or work smart? We'll read and reply.
Thanks for listening to Speak Like a Native. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and share this with a friend who needs to hear it.
And remember, real English is about culture, not just words. Keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Take care, everyone. Bye.